for this job, same for this job. Doesn't that remind you of the multitudes of gods in the polytheistic Greek the ways the Greeks and Romans lived their lives? We just simply have that, and we just brought that into Christianity in the form of the saints, and each saint would have a specific task, like each god or goddesses in the Greek and Roman mythology. So I find that fascinating. That
do you sorry to cut? Do you study astrology?
I did. I'm familiar with astrology a little bit, and also the Chinese astrology, all the different. Because I'm called calendar boy.
So, how do you relate astrology to the way that how they've constructed I say the calendar months, the sort of the yearly 365-day cycle? How do you relate that to astrology? Do you relate that
Oh,
to
for
astrology?
example, like when I'm in my mind, when I'm in that mental area, my own inside my head, I have my own version of the Alexandra Library. Is that okay? I'm a Pisces. I am the sign that I've gone through all the other signs already. So I can be adaptable to everything around me because I've been all the other signs already. So
I've asked some very in-depth questions. The reason why is because before I go is that just wanted to have a bit of conversation with you on an intellectual basis.
it's simply a system of thought or a system, astrology, religion, whatever it is. It's a system of organization.
Yeah.
It's an organizational system of thought, of belief,
Yeah.
of relating in communication. For example, you and I know astrology. We can speak in astrology. If we were Christians, we could speak in Christian terms. So it's these systems and these concepts and everything is simply so we can understand each other intellectually because we are speaking the same languages. It's knowledge instead of knowingness. It's different. You know, when you go from knowledge to just simply knowing.
The reason why I mentioned that. Yeah, the reason why I mentioned that was because, we're talking about modern times, the last 2,000 years,
Yeah.
And I have my theories about that, and I'm gonna do some because it's a subject I've studied for, and I'm gonna do some lessons on this, just like
It's a pattern. I can see the pattern in the last 4,000 years.
365 days in a year. But the point I was coming to is that the ancient peoples, not just in Africa or in Egypt, all over the world, had identified or were able to identify the constellations and the lunar cycle. And modern humanity don't want to admit that our ancestors or people of wherever they were from, as you were saying, you was talking about these captains roaming around the seas and discovering a place and just calling it something, whatever they, calling it their mother or calling it after their king or calling it after their girlfriend. But those places existed millions of years before any of those type of interventions came there.
Yes.
And we were led to believe.
We were led to believe. Naturally.
Yeah, but we were led to believe. Yeah, we were led to believe
naturally.
Yeah, we were led to believe. We were led to believe that these people couldn't even sail in a boat, which is completely the opposite. And if this is what I'm saying about education and miseducation, because if we're led to believe that, what's his name, the Spanish guy, Christopher Columbus was able to sail across the Atlantic Ocean and discover all these countries in you know in the Americas. And when he went there in a boat, with sails. But when he went there, he found these great pyramids and these great architectural, magnificent um, architectures and whatever, perfectly built, and yet they were classed as primitive people. And they were classed as primitive people because we were told, oh, they couldn't get in a boat and sail anywhere else. So, education is a thing where you got to look at it in
Yeah.
a very simple and straight and logical and truthful way. Otherwise, your old conception of what you think is the truth is completely distorted.
Now
And that's what,
we could use technology that we have today to our advantage. That's what.
yeah. But you understand what I'm saying? So,
Yes, I
yeah,
do.
yeah,
Because
those people in,
now
the
here's the fun
Incas,
thing about
yeah,
Christopher Columbus.
he got lost.
Oh,
He actually
we
got
all
lost.
know that he was sailing to India, and they didn't
He
know
got lost. He got lost.
no, they didn't know that there was South America and North America there. They thought they were going to go straight to India.
Yeah, you probably come out of the dead and you start cursing with us, sending karma my way. I like karma. I like karma because when karma comes, it just goes back double the time, So I love a
Well,
bit of karma.
that's why the Native Americans were called Indians.
Yeah,
Is
it's
because
education.
they were
Education.
going to go to India.
Yeah, education is fascinating, teacher Chris. That's why, I'm just so grateful to be having
Because
these.
their ignorance became their facts, and that's why we are calling them Indians. Because he was on his way to India.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of misconceptions being laid in the world,
Oh
and I
yeah.
think and I think really, if we are going to be true humanitarians, yeah, and talk the truth, then we need to teach the truth. We can't be biased, can't be prejudiced. We've got to teach the truth, and the truth is the truth. There's not two ways to it. It's not like there's two flavors, you know. And our children, I was miseducated in school. I knew I was miseducated because I wasn't interested in anything they were teaching me, apart from the academical skills, maths, English, whatever, German, technical drawing, those things. Yeah, we had to do it to get a profession to go and work. But that education soon became so useless and so irrelevant to your humanity that you had to, not all of us, you had to go and find something to fill the gap of all those wasted, sort of, should I say, stories and dogmas that you wonder how those teachers could go to bed at night and sleep, teaching children all of this miseducation. I'm not having a go at present teachers or anything. I'm just saying because we are educated now. We're at the age now where we've studied ourselves. We don't need anybody to tell us, and we spent a lot of money and done a lot of traveling to find out this information. And
Well, the other thing is that I spent most of my life unlearning
exactly,
what I was
exactly.
taught.
You had to rub everything out. You had to rub everything out and start all over again. You know,
Yeah.
basically. But it's great. It's great.
I mean,
Self-realization is something that has to happen naturally. You know.
okay. I'm going to end my little spiel here. I came to Web Talk with a totally different mindset because about a month or so before, I was in Facebook and I had every blocker you can think of. I didn't use my camera. I blocked everything I could imaginably block so I could be safe from everything. That's what I believe. And to make a long story short, when I got onto Web Talk, I threw all my blockers away. And this is what I'm doing right now. I went 180 degrees in the opposite direction. And my wife said one of the most important things I've ever heard from her the other day is we're replacing privacy. There's no such thing as privacy anymore. And we're replacing it with transparency. And that made a light bulb turn on inside my head, above my head. That's the world we live in now. Transparency. There's no such thing as public or private anymore. It's all gone. It's done. It's old school. What has replaced it is transparency. We're all out there. There's nothing to hide anymore. So we have a choice to live the lie or be genuine as hell.
I think, Chris, just before you end and before I go, Fred, really nice speaking to you. Really, really nice. Really, really nice.
So what do you think about that, Sando? About the concept of transparency now instead of privacy or public?
Yeah.
We live
I was going.
in
I was just going to say
transparency
before.
now.
I was going to say that transparency is what I'm seeing in Web Talk, within the IEG anyway, not within, but within the IEG. Transparency, and that's one of my favorite words. It's truth. Transparency means truth, visible, not hidden. So transparency is just the essence of everything that is good.
And I got that from my wife.
Right. So transparency has got many meanings, and the English language, as you know, is a dogmatic language. It has many meanings. One word can have five different
Yeah.
meanings. So I notice we're teaching English all over the world, but the English language it's a language to learn, and
That's what World War II did.
yeah,
Before World War II, I studied it because that was the lives of my parents and my grandparents.
yeah.
English, because of World War II, English became a global language because of the war. And before,
I'll just correct you a little bit there. English became global because of colonialism, not necessarily because
yeah,
of
true,
yeah, because of
but
colonialism, and
right,
then after the
but
wars didn't
see,
start.
English also, but see,
Yeah,
because of the war,
the wars didn't start till 1914. It was the first Great War. So the other wars that
right,
they had
but see,
before, they
I'm
might.
talking about World War II, American English. I want to finish here. Is before World War II, communities all around America, they spoke the language where the country that they came from. In community, everywhere in America. And because of World War II, after World War II, because everybody moved everywhere around America, they helped the war effort. And because of World War II, American English was everywhere for the first time in America. These communities where they spoke their native language, 90% of the population of the town near me right here, gone. So what it did to America, it made the American language global, even all over America. So all of a sudden, I've also studied the evolution of the English language. Of course, now it's changing. There's more people who speak Indian English than American English or British or whatever. But I'm just saying, because of World War II, American English became dominant in the latter half of the 20th century. And of course, you're right about colonization and stuff like that, British English. But because of World War II, American English became dominant in the world. And of course, now that's changing, globalization.
teacher Chris. Thank you very much for that. And that's giving me a perfect sort of a 24, 48 hours on Web Talk. And
Yep, my eyes are getting tired, so
yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
ending this now.
I don't know who's the host of the meeting anyway, but obviously you can close it off if you like. And I'm going to wish everybody a good night and thank you for all of the interactions, for all of the teachings I've learned today. And hopefully we're going to catch up very, very soon in the next broad live.
Okay, well, we'll see everybody. It's good, but I will see everybody in 18 hours. Oh, more than that, 19 hours, another class. And we'll see you then. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Clement Clan. And thank you, everybody else. Thank you, Sando. Have a good evening, everyone. And take care. This is IEG TV Live signing off.
I very much believe that.
Thailand is rising.
If you educate one person, you can change a life. But if you educate many, you can change the world.